Welcome back. Payday loan companies have been summoned to a government meeting to discuss what's been called widespread irresponsible lending.
Campaigners are calling for urgent action to deal with the high-cost loans to people who often can't afford them and end up with severe debt.
It's now a £2 billion industry. It's believed around 240 lending firms have sprung up in the UK, many charging interest rates of more than 4,000%. Well, joining us now is Dean Dunham, who's a lawyer and a consumer journalist. Are we going to get much out of this meeting today, do you think?
Well, I hope so. I mean, the first thing we have to say, interest rates are not going to be capped. It's not on the agenda. And I have to say, I find that shocking, because some of the worst stories that I've heard have been about interest rates, spiralling out of control, people getting into debt. So,
what's the argument for not capping them?
well, I think what the ministers are trying to do is Jo Swinson doesn't want to put these companies out of business because she sees a place for them. And I think that's right. Some people do need the cash, but we must put a cap on these interest rates.
And even if that does, even if a cap does mean that some are no longer profitable and can't continue, isn't that a good thing? I mean, we want fewer of them, don't we? We saw where Nick was this morning. He's in Walthamstow, 18 payday loan shops on a high street. It's ridiculous.
I mean, they're popping up everywhere, and if there's less of them, I think it is a good thing. Interest rates must be capped, full stop. Anyone who argues against that just doesn't know what they're talking about.
What about rollover loans? Because that's the other great problem, isn't it? People take out a loan, then they can't pay it back, persuaded to take out borrow more money to pay off the first loan, and so it goes on and on.
Absolutely, and this is a huge problem. I wrote in my column in the Sunday Mirror yesterday about payday loans. We had a huge response, and the biggest problem we saw, rollover loans. One lady took out a loan for £200, rolled it over 7 times.
That's where they make all their money, though.
It's absolutely where they make their money, and it has to stop. We should be stopping them maybe once or twice, but no more than that.
And what about, I mean, we've heard it many a time, that you can just ring up and within 15 minutes, the money can be in your bank. I mean,
Well,
what kind of checks are possibly being done in 15 minutes?
Well, the answer to that is no checks being done. I mean, some websites say 5 seconds. You can't check that. You can't make sure that that borrower, that lender needs money.
I mean, I've seen some emails where they go, click here, just click yes, and we'll give you the money.
What's your response to the allegation, by some at least, that the people who take them out, many people, of course, desperately need this money, but other people are perhaps a little bit naive, to put it mildly?
Well, maybe they are naive, but they need people to tell them that. So the companies that are lending this money should be saying, are you sure you need it? Are you sure you can repay it back in the 30 days or the 20 days, whatever the period is? That's not happening. That's the problem we have.
OK, we're going to talk to the Minister responsible a little bit later on, but for the time being, Dean, thanks very much indeed for being with us.